Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm Dawn. First time that I'm coming to a Tuesday morning session with you guys. And I'll be leading a yoga and Pilates practice today, right? So you're going to get the best of both worlds. We are going to come into a seated position first, right? So it's a rainy morning. I hope that you are all staying safe and just ready to get the day started with some exercising, some proper breathing. And it's going to actually have the benefits for you throughout the day, right? So let's come into a cross-leg sit. And if it's comfortable for some of you to come into a half lotus, I would like you to try that, okay? Give it a try and see how your ankle feels, see how your knees feel. If it's not right for you, just go back to a regular cross-leg sit, okay? But I like this position because of how it helps to stretch the ankles and the knees, and it also helps you to be able to sit up tall, right? So let's have our hands resting on the knees, shoulders are relaxed, and let's come into a breath practice first, okay? This will set the tone for you for when you start to move as well. So as you inhale through the nose, I'd like you to draw the breath to where the bigger lung lobes reside, around the rib cage, around the belly region. And when you exhale, open your mouth and say, let's do that again one more time, okay? Inhale through your nose and exhale. Inhale again through the nose, but this time mouth closed. Sounds like Darth Vader is breathing. Let's do that again. Inhale and exhale. And that will help us to switch on our inner core, our deep breathing muscles. This will help you to engage the muscles responsible for helping you to stabilize your middle, your torso, as well as to help you to take a deeper breath in and oxygenate the body a lot better. All right. Now let's come into a regular cross-leg sit. Take your hands towards the back. As you interlock your fingers, I'm going to have you press your palms towards one another. And let's take our hands over towards your right side waist. Drop your right ear towards your right shoulder and just feel that stretch along the side of your neck. Press your elbows backwards, okay? So you feel that stretch and the openness across the shoulders and a little bit around the side of the neck here as well. All right, come back towards the center and let's change it over to the other side. Knuckles over towards your left side waist. Drop your left ear towards your left shoulder and your elbows press back. And then very slowly, let's come back towards the center. Now take your hands towards the front. Interlock your fingers. And it's like you're hugging a very big tree, right? Round your back, drop your chin down towards your chest, and just feel the stretch along the middle of your upper back and also the back of your neck. All right, now turn your palms forwards. What I like about this is how it stretches the gripping muscles. And we tend to use that a lot more these days, holding mobile devices, not just, holding pens and pencils. All right, let's do that again one more time. So do make sure that you're giving those muscles a chance to stretch, the ones that you use repeatedly, okay? Look up if you can. All right, let's take your hands out to the side and let's move across towards your right side, lifting your left arm up for a bit of a side bend here, okay? Now hold it out here. I want you to add a twist also. So get your chest to face the ground and now breathe more deeply towards the back of your ribs on that left side, all right? As you do so, notice how your breath helps you to achieve a deeper stretch. Now come back towards the center and let's change it over to the other side, okay? Take your right arm up and exhale across towards your left side. Now twist and get your chest to face the ground. Take a deeper breath, a conscious, mindful breath to the back of your ribs on your right side. Okay, slowly coming back towards the center. Let's come into all fours now, all right? So palms are below your shoulders and your knees are below your hips. Let's do some cat-cows here, warming up your spine, stretching across the front side using the back muscles. And now exhale, tuck your chin in towards your chest, push away from the ground and try to look towards your stomach. Do that again. Inhale, looking up towards the ceiling, lift your chin, lift your gaze. And exhale, round your back, tuck your chin in towards your chest, push into the ground, and notice that how it helps you to switch on the muscles around the shoulders a lot better. Coming back to all fours, take one step forwards with your hands, then tuck your toes and lift your hips up into downward facing dog. I'm going to have you just bend your right knee, straighten your left leg, and change it over. Let's do that one more time. Right leg bent, left leg straight. One last one here to switch over. And let's continue to take baby steps forwards, okay? 1 foot at a time, all the way to the front of your mat. And let's take 2 full breaths to come up to a stand, okay? Inhale, exhale, halfway up. And then inhale, exhale, all the way to the top. Let's have our feet come together. I'm going to do some movements here to warm up the whole body. The sun salutations are really one of my favorites to get the heart rate up, okay? Let's take both arms up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, forward fold, all the way down. Take an inhale and look straight forwards. Exhale, forward fold. Let's take your right leg back. Inhale, big step. Left leg follows, coming into one straight line, plank, right? Let's lower our knees down towards the ground. Lean forwards, all right? And then bend your elbows. Beginners, you can rest everything down towards the ground. Now push forwards and up into a cobra or a higher cobra, right? Open across the shoulders, shoulder to shoulder. Now tuck your toes, go into the knees first. This is kinder for those of you who are just started, all right? Look towards your feet, stretch the back of your neck. Right foot, stepping it forwards between your hands. Use your hand to guide the foot forwards if you need to, okay? Left foot follows as well, feet to the front, forward fold. Inhale, coming up all the way with a baby back bend, and then hands back to heart center. Let's do that again, all right? Couple more rounds. And exhale, we fold. Let the breath guide the movement. Inhale, look straight. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, right leg back. Exhale, left leg follows. Inhale, knees. Exhale, chest, chin. Inhale, push forwards, up. Exhale, tuck toes, come into down dog. Inhale, right leg comes forwards. Guide it if you need to. Left foot follows. Exhale. Inhale, coming up all the way. Hands, heart center. Once you feel more warmed up, let's try to go for bigger movements, okay? Exhale, let's go deeper into those poses. Inhale, look forwards. Try to maintain long spine as you fold. Right leg steps back. Left leg follows, push into the floor with those hands, okay? Knees, chest, chin. Of course, you can always rest your stomach and your chest down towards the ground. Push forwards and up, maybe coming into a higher cobra. Tuck your toes and let's come into downward facing. Right leg forwards, land soft. Left foot follows, feet to the front, forward fold. Inhale, coming up all the way. Let's do this one last time, okay? Round 4, inhale. And out. You know, some mornings you can actually do this. Inhale and nothing else. Exhale, just the sun cells. And it really is a great way to start the day as well. All right, left foot follows. Knees, chest, chin. And then push forwards and up. And then exhale, downward facing. Let's step forwards. Right foot, once again, land soft. Left foot follows, feet to the front, forward fold, and then inhale, coming up all the way. Let's start off here at the front of your mat. I'm going to face you, but you continue facing the front of your mat, okay? We're going to have your right foot stay on the ground. Left leg, we're going to pick it up. What I'd like you to do is to bring your foot closer towards your opposite hip, okay? So if you need to, watch. You can always have your big toe come touch the ground, and that's okay. If you can, hold on to the foot, bring it across to the opposite hip. And then if you're okay, push your foot against your hip. So your knee actually points more towards the ground, and then extend both arms up. Here's your tree pose variation, right? So unlike this, for what it does to stretch the knee and the top part of your ankle. Remember, I got you to try the half lotus at the beginning of today's practice. This is the standing version, okay? So if you didn't get it earlier, you get another try now that you're a bit more warmed up. Let's stay here for just one more breath. And it challenges your ability to balance. You can always hold onto a wall or a table or a chair for assistance if you need to, right? Now slowly guide the foot back down towards the ground. Let's do the same thing on the other side, right? Right foot, let's pick it up. Bring it against your opposite hip. Press your foot against your hip and just notice the difference. Is it tighter here? Is it less tight, right? Press your knee downwards to point towards the ground. And if you're okay with balancing, just extend both arms up towards the ceiling. Now with the standing leg, push into the ground to engage those muscles that support you around your ankles, your knee, your hips. The more you can push, the more you can engage those muscles that support you, right? So don't just be letting your weight fall or sag down towards the ground. Let's stay here for 2 more breaths, okay? Observe your breathing. It's usually the first thing that you forget about when you're learning something new and you're thinking about stuff. Okay, last breath. Notice how you are breathing. Let's try to maintain that ujjayi breathing here, all right? And then very slowly, lower your foot down. Let's come back to that left leg coming up once again. You have 2 choices, all right? You can either interlock your fingers behind your thigh for the floating leg. If you cannot, hook your big toe. So option 1, you hold your thigh. Option 2, you take left index and middle finger to hook left big toe. Right hand on the hip if you're hooking your toe. Now let's try to extend your leg towards the front. And if you're able to do that, let's see if you can even bring that leg out to the side. Cannot, never mind, just have fun trying, okay? The thing about working with these new poses or something new that you're trying is have fun. Don't stress about everything, okay? So have a little bit of a playful attitude and approach to the new movements that you're doing here, right? Just be curious, give it a try, and if you don't get it the first time, try again, okay? Don't give up. Don't tell yourself you're not meant to do that. You will in time if you give it a try, right? Now, very slowly, come back towards the center once again, and then lower the foot down. Yeah! Other side, right? Hands on the hips, right leg comes up. 2 fingers hook the big toe, or fingers interlock behind your thighs, all right? So little kids, when they try things out, they probably have never done it before, but because they're not afraid to fail, they're not afraid to try, and they're so curious, and that's something that adults have lost, that curiosity and that ability to just have fun and try new things, okay? So don't beat yourself up before you even give it a try, okay? If you fall, just pick yourself up. That's what kids do, right? So something for us to learn from the little ones, all right? Relax your shoulders and just take 1 more deep breath here. So ideally, if you can, you're gonna stay here for about 8 breaths. Of course, for a start, you can stay for a shorter time. We're gonna slowly bring it back towards the center and then lower the foot back down. I'm gonna join you facing the front of the mat once again. Hands are on your hips. So for this next pose that we're doing, it's a balancing half moon, all right? So I'm gonna have my feet just take 1 baby step back. Right foot is gonna stay on the ground. Right fingers are gonna come down as well. So if you need to, you bend your knees, okay? If you can, you keep your legs straight. I'm gonna place my right fingers on the ground. Now, if you have a block, you can use it as well. If you're able to rest your hand on the ground, great. Right foot, right hand stays on the floor. Left leg, let's pick it up. So if you cannot bring it up very high and you need your toe to touch the ground, just start from there, okay? If not, left leg, let's bring it up. Extend both legs away from the center. Now I'm trying to stack my left hip over my right. And if that does not happen today because of tightness, let your body have the chance to just adapt and change, okay? Holding it there, and if you can, take your left arm up towards the ceiling as well. Holding it here, let's hang out here for another 2 more breaths, okay? So with any of the stationary poses that we're doing here, I encourage you to stay for about 8 breaths. For another 2, and 1. And let's do the same thing on the other side. So now I'm gonna lower my left foot down. I'm gonna change it over to my left hand that comes down towards the floor. I'm gonna pick up my right leg and I shift my right hip to stack it over the left. Shift the right hip to stack it over the left. And then maybe if you're balancing well enough, you're gonna take your right hand up. So if you stumble, if you have to drop your right foot down towards the ground, have a bit of a giggle about it and then try again, okay? It will not be perfect the first time you try. You can only just get better, right? But understand that even as you practice for a while, some days are just going to be better than others, okay? Hold it there for another 2, and 1. Of course, you can always extend the arm up as well, all right? And then slowly lower it down towards the ground. Now, take your time. If you need to, press your hands on your thighs, okay? Roll yourselves to come up. Take an inhale, bend the back a little bit. Hands come back to the front of your chest. Now, I'm going to keep my right foot in front. I'm going to step a big step back with my left leg, all right? I'm going to come into Warrior Two now. All right, so I'm going to bend my front knee and extend both arms out away. A wider stance will make this more challenging, right? So let's hold it here for just one more breath. And then I'm going to shift backwards now, right? So transferring the weight towards the rear leg. Notice my feet now. I actually turn my feet to facilitate me coming down into this position. So for some of you, if you need to have your fingers come rest on the ground, because you just cannot get your foot flat for genetic reasons or, just injuries, for whatever reason, have your hands come and support you if you need to, right? So I keep saying this, our bodies are not the same, okay? So just because I can do it doesn't mean that you have to be able to, right? You do it to your best ability for that day, right? So toes point up towards the ceiling. Now here's the challenging part. Power through your legs to come back up where you were, Warrior Two. If not, just use your hands and help yourself out, okay? So try, push to lift, and come back into your Warrior Two. Look towards your right fingertips. And I'm going to tiptoe on that back leg to come into Crescent Lunge. So facing the front, bring your back arm forwards. We're going to reach towards the right side, okay? Tiptoe the back leg. Stay on tiptoe for the back leg. Arms reaching up, lower the hips down. Option, back knee comes down towards the ground. And if you can, you stay on tiptoe for the back leg. Now try, if you're stable, try to look up towards the ceiling. Okay, never mind, just give it a try. All right, now if your neck doesn't feel comfortable, you just look forwards, okay? Let's stay here for another 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Okay, now start to lower your hands onto your hips. I'm gonna flatten that back foot once again. I'm gonna turn towards the front, and then I'm gonna shift my weight over towards the other side. Turn the feet to point your toes towards the left side of your mat or the end of your mat, because we're going to work on the other side now. All right, so bend that left knee, turn your right foot in, arms reach out. We are in your Warrior Two here now. All right, gaze towards your left fingertips and stay right here for another 2 more breaths. And this is your Warrior Two. Strengthens your legs, works on the arms, the shoulders. Now, if your shoulders are tired, please just have your hands rest on your waist, all right, or your hips. It's okay. Now we're going to come down, watch my feet. I'm going to turn my feet, I'm going to transfer my weight towards my right side once again, and then I come down. All right, so again, if you need to have your fingers come down towards the ground, just go ahead and do that, okay? Now, this is so good for the hips, for the ankles, for the knees, taking them into a full range of motion. And how often do you do that? Okay, we don't really squat very much nowadays. So we lose that ability to, because we just avoid these movements, all right? So give yourself a chance to work your joints in their proper range of motion, all right? And then see if you can power through the legs to come back up. If not, use your hands to help you out, okay? 1, 2, 3. All right, turn the back toes in. Now we're gonna go into your Crescent Lunge. Back foot is gonna go on tiptoe as I sweep my right arm forwards. Rise up on tiptoe. If you need to, this knee comes down to the floor, okay? Arms reaching up, spread the toes for that front foot. Look up towards the ceiling. And if you find that you're losing your balance, please just either hold onto a wall, a chair, or lower the back knee down. So many choices, right? Just choose what works best for you, okay? Look right here towards the ceiling, and that helps to stretch across the front of the neck. But you should feel that stretch across the front of your right hip as well, all right? This really is good for those with lower back tightness, and it strengthens the legs as well. Okay, slowly return your hands back onto your hips. I'm gonna flatten that back foot. I'm going to turn towards the front. I'm going to turn both my feet in. I'm going to heel toe, heel toe, heel toe until I come back to the center of my mat. So this is what I have for you for segment 1. Stay tuned. You have 2 more segments to go. All right, so keep your towel handy. We may be sweating a little bit for the Pilates part of your practice. All right, see you in a bit. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving on to the second segment of your practice today, and it's going to involve a lot more of your core muscles. The good news is you get to stay closer towards the ground, all right? So for those of you who have slightly more prominent tailbones, all right, and doing sit-up kind of movements is uncomfortable for you, what I encourage you to have a towel, fold it up like a small flat cushion. You're going to place it around the base of your hips where your tailbone is, okay? So that will take away the discomfort for you. But before I move on to the movements, I want to talk about the breathing, because the way we breathe in yoga and Pilates is really quite different. And the key reason why we breathe a certain way in Pilates is to help us to access using those deep core muscles with a lot more strength, all right? So it's more intentional in that way, all right? So the way we breathe here, we need to push the air out, okay? It's kind of like how tennis players or golfers kind of exert when they're hitting the ball. So it happens on your exhale. The general rule of thumb is to exhale on the effort. When in doubt, just breathe normal, but it's okay, catch yourself. It's a practice, right? Okay, so let's place our hands on your ribs. And then relax your shoulders. As you inhale, the ribs expand, the lungs expand. And when you exhale, the lungs contract. You notice how when you're trying to make your waist smaller, you tend to suck the air in and you inhale and you try to fit into those pair of too tight jeans? All right, we're doing the opposite here, okay? Because when you're inhaling, your lungs expand, your torso actually should widen, okay? So it takes a bit of practice. I know it's confusing, okay? But just give it a try. Let's do that one more time, okay? Hands on your ribs. Inhale and exhale. Push the air out. Like there's a small straw, a Yakult straw, a Vitagen straw, you're gonna push the air out, okay? Now, let's come into a seated position in the center of your mat. We're gonna have our feet just about hip-width distance apart, okay? Do not have your feet too close towards you. If it is, it's gonna be quite difficult for you guys to roll down and roll up, which is what we're gonna do here, okay? Now we're gonna do that together 4 times. Watch. So I'm reaching forwards. My elbows, my shoulders are pretty soft. I inhale to sit up tall. I exhale and roll down. So I do not let my body just fall down towards the ground. I actually lower it down with control. My arms go back. I do not arch my back. So I'm always keeping my belly wall firm. Arms are reaching forwards, chin to the chest, and then I roll to come up. Now, if you get stuck on the way up, you cannot come up anymore, give yourself a leg, okay? No hand, give yourself a leg. And then you're gonna roll yourselves to come back up, okay? Let's do that together 4 times now. Inhale, and then lower down your spine, bone by bone by bone by bone by bone. Inhale, extend your arms back. Exhale, arms forwards, chin to the chest, and roll to come back up. Inhale. Now, this is one of those movements, exhale, that I actually took 7 months to get back into doing after I had my C-sections, all right? So arms forwards, chin to the chest. So sometimes life gives you curveballs. You just have to keep trying. Like I said earlier, try until you maybe can get it. If not, you just probably get better at doing it, all right? Arms forwards, chin to chest, and roll to come up. Let's do that again one more time, okay? Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, arms extend. And then exhale, reach forwards, chin to the chest, and roll to come back up. Excellent. So let's do the same thing this time, but we're only gonna come down halfway. Now watch, I'm gonna keep my right leg extending up, and I'm gonna lower down halfway. Now this is option 2. If you need to, you lower both feet down, but at the halfway mark going down, I'm gonna raise my arms up, I'm gonna lower my arms down. It's like I'm holding a basketball, and I'm gonna bring it up, I'm gonna lower it down. The rule is your arms move, nothing else does, especially your head. So don't be counterbalancing with your head, okay? Nothing moves but the arms. Now, if you're following me for option 2, raise your right leg up. Here we go. Inhale, arms reaching up. Exhale, press the arms to come down. And again, 2, and exhale, press to lower. And 3, and exhale, press lower. And 4, exhale, press lower. Let's do that one more time, okay? 5. On your own, you can do like up to 10, all right? And then let's change legs. Right foot comes down, left leg comes up. You can always keep both feet down, okay? Inhale, arms lift up. And exhale, lower. So those of you who are keeping both feet down on the ground, you'd just be repeating this movement with the arms going up and down 10 times, okay? Let's do this 2 more times here, all right? Inhale, lift, and exhale, lower. One more time here. Inhale, lift, and exhale, lower. Good. Now raise your right leg up once again. Grab a hold behind your knee or behind your calves. You're gonna lower yourselves down, hold your crunch, bend your elbows, and straighten your left leg out. Let's go for your single leg stretch here, straight leg, all right? Look towards your thighs. Now let's switch and pull. And switch and pull. So you're gonna feel that stretch along the back of your thigh, and switch and pull, and switch and pull. And 4, and change, and 5, and change. Let's do 5 more here together. Try to maintain your crunch. Of course, if you need to, put your head down towards the ground. All right, 3 more, and out. Again, for those of you who need to hold behind your knee or behind your thigh, go ahead and do that, okay? 1 more time here. Inhale, and exhale. And stop. Lower your head down. Look to one side, look to the other side. Relax your neck. We're going to do something similar to what you just did, okay? I'm going to keep your arms down towards the ground. I'm going to have you bring both legs up towards the ceiling, all right? If you cannot straighten your legs out fully, it's okay. You just try your best, all right? Now watch. I'm going to lower one leg down. I'm going to bring both legs back up. I'm going to lower the other leg down. I'm going to bring both legs back up. I just did 1 on each side. Let's go for 5 on each side together, okay? So raise both legs up. Option 2, follow me. We're going to hold a crunch here. All right, get ready. Left leg lowers. Inhale. Both legs up. Exhale. Switch. And up. And 2. Belly firm. Out. And switch. And up. And 3, and up, and 3, and up. Let's do 2 more here together. Hold your crunch. If you need 2 hand supports behind the head, okay? Other side, and exhale. 1 last one each way. Inhale, lower, and exhale, lift. Last one here, lower, and exhale, lift, and slowly lower both legs down towards the ground. I'm gonna maintain the feet being hip-width distance apart, but I'm going to wiggle my feet closer towards the front. We're going for a series of movements while lying down here. Arms are down. I'm going to have you imagine that your spine is a bicycle chain. So there are different segments, all right, to the spine, to the chain. So you're going to pull at one link at a time until you come into your bridge. And you're going to do the same thing. Lower down one link at a time until you lower your hips down flat, right? So I want you to imagine that you also have a yoga block or a towel between your knees. Do not drop it, all right? So keep your knees the same distance apart. And let's do that together 2 more times, okay? Hands down, inhale, prepare, and exhale. Tilt your hips towards you. So if there's a bowl of soup here, you spill it towards you, and then you peel that bicycle chain up into your bridge. Keeping your shoulders away from your ears, let's lower the bicycle chain down, that is your spine, link by link until your tailbone comes down. Let's do that again 1 more time. I love this for how it helps to mobilize the spine, all right? So we're working on that hips to ribs kind of a movement instead of the usual crunching, which is a ribs to hips, all right? And then slowly lower down, bone by bone by bone by bone, all the way down. Nice. So we're gonna keep the feet parallel, make sure that they are parallel. We're going to go back up once again. Inhale and exhale, peel to come up. But this time, I want to add a different movement. All right? I'm going to keep my right foot down. I'm going to bring my left leg to come up. So if you can, you straighten that leg. Cannot, never mind. Okay, I'm going to lower that left leg down, and on the exhale, I'm going to bring it back up. Let's do 4 more here, okay? So if your knee is bent, you just bring the leg forward, you bring it up. If you have to, you're just going to lower your bum down towards the ground, okay? Exhale and lift. I'm trying to keep both sides of my hips at the same height. 1 more time here. Inhale and exhale. And then I lower that leg back down towards the ground once again. Let's do that on the other side, all right? Bring your right leg up, straighten it up, and then inhale, lower, and exhale up. And 2, and exhale up. And 3, and exhale. 2 more, and up. 1 more time, and exhale, and stop. Lower the foot down. Hands go behind your thighs for this one. Now I want you to curl yourself up into a ball. All right, so bring your forehead close to your knees, all right? You're gonna gently rock forwards and back. Now, those with back pain issues, lower back issues, just push yourself into a seated position at this point, okay? For those who can, I want you to hold yourselves in a ball and rock towards your buttocks, rock to your shoulder blades. Rock to your buttocks, rock to your shoulder blades. Now this time, we're gonna come up to a sit. Excellent. All right, now come into your plank position here, all right? I'm gonna have you go onto your forearms for this one, all right? So it's kinda, for those of you who have wrist issues, right, let's have both elbows or both forearms about shoulder width distance apart. Your fingers are pointing forwards, right? So I'm gonna have your knees pressing down for those of you working with option 1. Option 2, I'm gonna have you tuck your toes and lift your knees off the ground. We're going into a series of movements here on your forearm plank. Now, keep your right foot down here for me. I'm gonna have you raise your left leg up. So as you bring the leg up and lower it down, I don't want anything else to move. Option 1, you will just lower your right knee to the floor and continue to move your left leg like we are here. This is 3 and 4 and 5. Lower your left foot down, and let's do the same thing on the other side, all right? Right leg comes up, here we go, lift and lower. You notice that I did not let my hips dip down or start to pike up, all right? 3, you wanna maintain it at that same height. And 4, exhale. And 5, exhale. And then lower your knees, lower your hips, rest your forearms down this way. Take the load off your shoulders. I'm gonna do another movement from that same position once again, all right? Once more, you have 2 choices. There are always choices. Just choose the one that's right for you, okay? You don't have to completely eliminate the exercises, all right? And if you can only do 2 out of the 5, you just do 2 for a start, okay? Next week, do 1 more, huh? All right, now, forearms, shoulder width distance apart. Knees down, so you're gonna move the left leg for those of you working with option 1, okay? Option 2, tuck toes, lift your hips up. This time, left leg goes up and exhale outside. That's 1. And 2, so I'm only moving that left leg. And 3, but it's actually my right leg that's working harder, huh? And 4, 1 more time here, all right? 5, and lower down. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Right leg lifts up and exhale for 1. And 2, and 3, and 4. 1 more time, 5, and then slowly lower the legs down, lower the hips down, and then rest on your forearms in parallel once again. One last one here for you guys, but it's not a regular plank facing the ground, it's a side plank, right? So have your right forearm come parallel to the front of your mat, and I'm gonna have you turn to face your left side. Option 1, again, you're gonna keep your knees down towards the ground as you work on your top leg. Option 2, I'm gonna have you extend your legs out and you lift your hips up like the first group as well, all right? Now, movement is leg goes up, leg comes down, and that's as simple as it is, all right? Let's do 4 more here together. And 3, so I'm really working very strongly on the bottom leg here, all right? 4, and I'm only doing 5. If you can, I'd like you to try to do 10, all right? And stop. Let's change it over to the other side. I'm just gonna flip myself over to the other side of the mat so I can still see you guys, all right? Let's have your left forearm on the ground now, parallel to the front of your mat. Option 1, once again, you guys are on your knees here. And then you're just gonna go up and down this way. All right, option 2, I'm gonna have you straighten both legs out, lift your hips up, and let's move that top leg, all right? Lifting up and exhale for 1. Lifting up and exhale for 2. And 3. And 4. 1 more time, 5, and stop. Lower down, and then push yourselves to come up to a sit. So that concludes segment 2, which is more core intensive. I'm gonna let you guys have a little bit of a water break, towel down, and we're gonna start to do some stretches and cool down, right? Stay tuned. All right, we're back, and this is the final of 3 segments for today. I hope you guys managed to get a sip of water, towel down, get your heart rates down. We are going to start with the stretching and the cool down. So I'm going to have you come onto your belly, lying down on your stomach. Like where we were earlier on your forearms, this is an option for those of you who have wrist issues. You're going to stretch your abdominal muscles from this position, your Sphinx. All right, so let's just breathe normally, in and out through your nose. All right, lifting your chin up towards the ceiling. I want you to try to get your upper and lower teeth still touching. All right, so you get a better stretch that way. Now, for those of you who do not have wrist issues, follow me, all right? We're going to come onto your hands, but watch how I slide my hands back close to my ribs. It's not next to my shoulders, it's next to my ribs. I'm going to press to come up, and I strongly push into the ground, so you notice that the neck becomes a lot longer. I'm not collapsing my weight down, push into the floor, all right? Now, look up at the same time as those who are in the Sphinx, all right? I'm going to add a little bit of a stretch to the side of the torso. So even for those who are resting on your forearms, I want you to try to do a little bit of a twist here with me, okay? We're going to try and look towards the wall on the right, or maybe even towards the foot that's behind, all right? Trying to look towards the back end of your mat. And that helps you to get a stretch to the left side of your waist, the left side of your torso, all right? Now we're going to switch it over to the other side. Come back center first. Reset if you need to. And then let's change it over, turning your chest towards the left side. Again, try not to let your weight collapse into the ground. The more you push, the stronger your wrists and your elbows and your shoulders become. If you let your weight sag down, you're going to feel more strain to your wrists, okay? And then very slowly, come back towards the center. And then we're going to shift our hips up and back so that we come into all fours, right? So have your knees about hip-width distance apart, and I'm going to have you come back onto the forearms once again, all right? This is your puppy pose, okay? So similar to the down dog, it actually helps you to get a stretch along your spine. We just don't get that stretch to the back of the legs like in a regular down dog. So what I want you to try to do is to bring your forehead towards your forearms, all right? And let your chest melt down towards the ground at the same time. So the shoulders are open. The chest feels open. The spine is getting a stretch, and it's a gentle inversion, meaning I'm getting more blood flow to the face, the eyes, the throat, the head, everything upstairs, okay? So you can stay here for about 8 breaths to a minute, holding it there and just quietly breathing. You can close your eyes here as well, since it's such a safe and stable position to be in. Holding it here for just 2 more breaths. The more you can melt your chest towards the ground, the better, all right? Last breath here. And then very slowly, we're going to push ourselves to come back up. I'm going to have you just scoot yourselves to the middle of your mat. And you're going to keep your right knee bent. Oh, you know what? Let's start with the left leg, okay, so that you guys can see. All right, I'm going to have my left leg stay bent, and my right leg goes forwards. You can have a cushion or a towel to pad under your knee or your ankles, all right, if it's not too comfortable for you, all right? Now, you notice that my foot is actually not under my bum. I'm not sitting on my foot, okay? So bring the foot out to the side, and we're going to stretch the front part of your quadriceps, all right, for whichever leg is bent. Those of you with ankle issues and knee issues, please be cautious. In fact, you may already feel a fantastic stretch along the top of your thigh. And if that's the case, you can actually stop here, okay? You don't have to go to the point where it actually becomes painful. Please don't, all right? But if you find that, hey, I can actually go for a much deeper stretch to where I mentioned, the front of your thigh, you're going to feel it to your knee. You're going to start to walk your hands back. Walk, 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 walk. What I want you to do is to keep your knee close to the ground. The moment it pops up, don't bother walking it back anymore, okay? So just keep your knee close towards the ground, walk your hands back, all right? And if it does pop up, your arm may not be able to reach. I've got very long arms, so it's very easy for me to do that. Okay, what you can do is have your other leg come over and just press it down. Like, don't come up, right? Just stay right there, okay? Holding it there. We're going to stay here for another 2 more breaths. So you can always literally give yourself a hand or a leg to keep the knee down. All right, 1 more breath here, and you should be feeling that stretch across the front of your thigh. Let's switch it over to the other side now. All right, so left leg is going to extend towards the front. Right leg is going to bend this time round. All right, so I'm going to keep the foot outside. I'm not sitting on my foot, okay? Once again, walk the hands back. Walk, 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 walk. And if the knee is popping up once again, you just use your leg and press it down, okay? So you should be feeling that stretch along the front of the thigh. And if you don't really feel it, you just walk it back some more, or you might even choose to come onto your elbows as well. Those who are very flexible, you can even lie down on your back, right? But I'm just trying to cater a little bit more to those of you who are starting out, okay? So let's stay here for just one more breath. Really enjoying that stretch to the quads. Now this is actually one very overused muscle, right? You walk, you climb stairs, you run, you are going to use this muscle here a lot, okay? Now let's take our time to press ourselves to come back up. Uncross the legs. Nice. I'm going to go back to that right leg straightening out once again, but this time I'm going to have my left foot come in towards me this way, right? So instead of taking it outwards, I'm taking the foot inwards, okay? The muscle that we're stretching is along the back of your leg, for that straightened out leg. So I want you to try to keep the leg straight. But if it's not possible for you, you just bend the knee. It's okay. In fact, some of you will already feel the stretch along the back of your thigh already, all right? So if that's the case, just stay there, okay? Because that's your goal, right? It's not to form a shape. It's to feel the stretch, all right? Shine your chest in the direction of your foot, towards the front of your mat. Now take an inhale. Avoid slouching. I want you to keep your spine straight and start to lean forwards, okay? Try to look forwards. Grab a hold of your foot if you can. Maybe use a towel or a strap, hook it under your foot to help you get there. Right? Now, if you can only grab hold of your ankle or your calf, start with that as well. That's fine. Right? Now, start to move your body closer towards your thigh. And like I said, I want you to feel the stretch along the back of your thigh. You should not be feeling pain to your back at all. Okay, so let's hold it there for another 2 more breaths, observing your breathing. So you don't want to hold your breath. You want to make sure that you're able to breathe in and out smoothly, deeply, right? And then very slowly come back up. Because the way we breathe has a very strong effect on the benefit of the exercises that you're getting, okay? So if you hold your breath, you're going to create more stress. That's the opposite of what we're trying to do, but that tenses up your whole body as well, okay? Onto the other side, you either reach for your foot, use your towel if that's available for you, or maybe just hold onto your calf or your ankle, right? And then you just reach forwards. Remember, do not allow that pain to set in around the back. Understand that back pain or back tension is actually a very common problem that many people face right now. Okay, so this can actually help you by releasing tightness along your hamstrings, but you do not at the same time cause more problems, okay? So it's a journey, it's a practice, okay? Just by doing a stretch today, it's not gonna help you forever, okay? You need to do it on a regular basis because every single day you are going to be slouching, you're gonna be sitting, you're gonna have compression to your spine. So just make sure that you're doing something regular, like this, on a daily basis to help undo some of the damages that we do to ourselves unknowingly, okay? All right, just stay there for 1 more breath, getting that stretch along the back of your legs. And then very slowly press to come back up. I'm gonna have you come face me now, facing the side of your mat, okay? And you're gonna have your legs forming fire logs, like at a campfire, okay? I'm gonna have my right leg under and my left foot comes up on top. So you see the fire logs here right now, one stacked on top of the other. I only have 2 legs, so I cannot stack anymore, but it's just 2 fire logs, one on top of the other, okay? Now, if this is not possible for you, you just have 1 foot on top of the other calf, and that's fine. You just start from there, okay? So, doesn't have to be perfect, but I do need you to feel that stretch along the outside of the hip, the thigh, for whichever leg is on top. Now, you may already feel that stretch along the outside of your hip, okay? We're gonna add on. Whichever arm is the opposite side. So this is my left leg on top, I'm gonna take my opposite arm, the right arm outside that thigh. I'm gonna keep that arm straight, push against that thigh, and then the other arm goes behind to help support me, sitting up tall, push into the ground, and then I'm gonna try and look at the wall behind. So I'm getting a spine twist. So imagine that your spine is a barbershop pole, all right, spiraling upwards. Every time you inhale, sit up taller. Every time you exhale, twist a little further. 1 more time here, sit up tall, twist a little further. And then come back center. Let's do the same thing. Oh, wait, hang on. I want you to walk forwards first, okay? Now bring your body closer towards those fire logs. It's very cold outside. Warm yourselves up over the fire logs, all right? So bring your chest closer towards the thigh. If you can just fold forwards all the way, fantastic. But if you cannot, never mind. Just see where your body allows you to go to for today, all right? The closer you can bring your chest towards your legs, the deeper the stretch. And then let's come on up and do the same thing on the other side. All right, so this time, right leg on top of left, flex your feet. Again, if you cannot have it perfectly one on top of the other, you just have your foot come onto the calf instead, okay? Let's take your right arm back. Left arm straight, extend it outside your thigh, okay? Sit up tall, and then we twist. Looking towards the wall behind you, all right? Try not to round your backs, all right? Rotate around the neck as well. The rotation happens around the neck also, and your gaze towards the wall behind you helps you to achieve that, all right? Let's stay there for just one more deep, full breath. And then very slowly coming back towards the center. We're going to go forwards now, right? So walk your hands towards the front, step by step, closer towards the ground if you can. But you do not want your hips to lift away from the ground, all right? So if you can fall forward some more, go for it, okay? But do not feel like you are forcing or shallow breathing, all right? Melt the chest down. Hold it there for another 2 more breaths. So just make sure that you can feel the stretch along the outside of your hip for whichever leg is on top, okay? Last one. And then very slowly coming on back up. You can continue to sit here, or you can go into a regular cross-leg sit. I like this because it helps me feel like I'm seated a lot taller. Now just close your eyes, rest your hands on your foot on your knee, and just observe how the body and your state of mind feels at this moment. Just a very short moment to observe and just notice the differences and what has shifted. In a very short practice, a lot can happen. At the very least, you would have released some happy hormones, and it just helps you to feel a lot better as you take on whatever comes throughout the day. And on the other hand, you may not feel a very big difference in terms of your flexibility and mobility because these things take time, okay? So sometimes when you stop and you take note and you acknowledge these changes that have happened, it can serve as motivation for you to just keep going, okay? Because you actually notice these differences. Along the way, if you can be more consistent and frequent with your practice, you are only going to see the good things come your way, right? So it may not be the best practice that you had that day, okay? It doesn't have to, but the moment you make it a consistent one, a regular one, that's where you start to see the magic happen, right? So keep practicing, everybody, and stay healthy. I hope to see you all again very soon. Actually, you know what? Tomorrow. Have a wonderful day ahead, everybody. Thank you.